Welcome back. Long time no see. I've been pretty busy, but I'm excited to finish out Signal Void. So let's just get started. So I think I'm going to sleep here, head out in the morning, and then I'll just head right over to the far territory, go to the Forsaken Airfield, and find the last bunker. Let's see. It's been a little while, so I'm just going to look at what I got going for me. Okay. Now, is there anywhere to sleep in here? Of course, right here. Okay. Let's drink some water and have some food. Soda will do both, that's fine. One more. What is my food situation? It's great. I'm full of corn and ham. It's fine. Alright. So it's going to be quite a long trip, but I'm just going to try to go straight there. I mean, with this difficulty... Okay, that's totally out. With this difficulty, I'm not really going to get cold. I'm not really going to have to worry about food. I'll take some more corn. And I shouldn't have any troubles. Head right there. Okay, so we're in Pleasant Valley. I'm just going to go right back to the cave I came from last time. Head back to Mystery Lake. From Mystery Lake, go to Broken Railroad. Then head over to Forsaken Airfield. I would like to weigh less. Okay, it's mostly food. That's okay. That is why people don't play as Will. So the last time, I turned voices on so you could hear the voiceover. But that means that if you sprint for 2 seconds, Will be panting for the rest of this journey. So, the last video I uploaded was a couple of weeks back. It was right after Zachnifine was kind enough to give me a shout out. I really appreciate that. I saw a bunch of people come over to the channel. A bunch of people left really helpful and kind comments, and I appreciated those. But it was also the very beginning of the semester for me. So I've said in, I'm sure, a bunch of episodes, probably all of them. I'm a professor of philosophy, and this semester I'm teaching a course that I haven't taught before, Philosophies of India. And I studied Indian philosophy back when I was a master's student, but it's been a little while. So it's been really great to have a strong motivation for revisiting all that stuff. But it's kept me busy because it's complicated. But it's also been a lot of fun. So now we just got through the first round of assignments in all of my classes. And so now there's a bunch of grading, but I tend to, where possible, schedule some easier stuff around grading season, so that I don't have all that much prep to do. Don't gotta refamiliarize myself with too much. I can just focus on grading. So the goal will be to record at least a handful of videos now, and then release those over time. I don't know if the best way to go is, I don't need this, straight here and then hang to the right, or to go up that hill. But I guess I'll find out. It's up the hill. I know exactly where this is. There's a waterfall right there, you can hear it. And you can get to the top of the waterfall up here. I think it's blocked with rocks, you can't jump off the waterfall or anything like that. I don't think I'm alone in finding the sounds of this game very relaxing. I especially like the wildlife. On this difficulty, you know, a distant wolf howl isn't the threat that it normally is. So I think the, yeah, there's that cave, then there's a little hunter's blind over there, and the cave back to Mystery Lake is right down here. So I've been playing with the idea of making some region guides for Interloper, in addition to continuing the Interloper playthrough, of course. That's something that the community seems interested in. I've seen that on the subreddit, and I know Zachnifine mentioned that in a recent video. People request that kind of content a lot, and he's hesitant to do that content because, for reasons. You can go watch his video, I'll throw a link in here. But I don't share the same hesitations. It's not that I think he's wrong or anything like that. I just don't have the same concerns. You see, I really like playing early Interloper. The beginning of the game on Interloper is my favorite part. And so region guides, I think, where you do a custom Interloper start and just choose some region and you just stay there, and you show all the main areas and important paths and talk about loot and things like that. That's kind of perfect to some extent. I mean, I also really like the mid-game when you first start getting weapons and stuff, but that first part's really fun for me, and if that's content that this community wants, I'm happy to do that. I don't know every region like the back of my hand. You know, I'm going to have to learn Black Rock before attempting something like that, but I can certainly do a bunch of things like Mystery Lake and Pleasant Valley, Coastal Highway, Desolation Point, Mountain Town. Speaking of which, I've been trying to get the developer console mod to work. And I haven't tried in a couple of weeks, but I can't get it to work. And I'm guessing it just isn't current. But if anybody knows how to make that work, that'd be great, because I want to use it to fly in order to get footage for videos. But I just can't seem to get it to work. I did the whole thing with Melon Loader and all the prerequisites, but I just suspect that it isn't compatible with the current version of the game. Could be totally wrong. But yeah, if you know how to get that to work, any advice would be appreciated. I'd love to make that happen. The dam looks so cool with this fog. The top's a little bit janky, but if you don't move... Alright, that looks pretty good. I don't remember if I have a... Okay, I do have a bedroll, so there's no problem in getting tired. I can sleep whenever I need to. Not an issue. I wonder if I've been here before. I haven't watched my own videos in a while. I usually just watch them like once after I release them. And obviously during editing, I watch them a bunch, but afterwards I usually watch them once, make sure everything's working. And then I move on. But since it's been a little while, I actually don't know everything I've done. I guess I would have had to have come through here to go to Pleasant Valley. I bet you that little piece of scrap wood that's usually up here... Oh, no, they still are. And I didn't even search this, because I never went back in. Yep, that makes sense. So I probably didn't search this room either. I probably just went right out. Okay. I don't think I'm going to search anything. Let me just take a quick look with some light. Okay. I don't really need anything. This place has nothing for me. Might have a cup of coffee. No, no. Already have tons of food. There's always tools here, I think. It's often quality tools, but there's always some kind of tools there. Alright. Dress shoes. It's one of those spots where I usually check. I usually actually walk over and look. I'm careful about it. But, I very rarely actually find anything there, so I was kind of surprised in just sprinting past to see something. Don't need it. That'd be a great find, but I already have a knife and it doesn't really matter. Let's see. The knife, of course, does matter a lot on other difficulties. I mean, heck, it probably matters on this one too, but I don't have any sort of endgame here, so... Or I'm just going to finish Signal Void, and that'll probably be it. I'm probably going to do the other tales on Interloper. I do this thing where I get an Interloper file around, 120 days or something like that. And then I just stop playing for a little while, or I make a new file or something like that. Like I said, I love the beginning of Interloper runs. And you know what? Let me just sleep. Let me get upstairs. And I just forget everything that I was doing. I keep a journal. I haven't really done that in this playthrough because, I mean, honestly, this is it. This is what I'm doing, and this is all I'm doing. I don't need to write anything down. But in Interloper, I keep a journal, but every time I want to get back into my main Interloper runs, I have to go relearn everything about the playthrough, right? I need to go see, okay, where have I been? What was I doing? What do I have? Where's all my stuff? And that means going back to a main run after a little while can take... There's some startup motivation. There's a hurdle there for me. But I am going to get back to the series I'm running now. That's not the main Interloper. It's only, I don't know, 15, 20 days. I don't really remember. But that one I remember what's going on, at least. And I have it all recorded. I can just watch it. That's a really great benefit. Anyway, let me know if any of you are like that. Let me know in the comments if you play your runs, and after a while you just start over completely, whether that's in the Long Dark or in other games. Or if, no, you remember, you know what you're doing, or you have some system for tracking it, and you can just get right back into it, no problem. That's cool if that's the case for you. I envy you. That's great. But it takes me a little bit of time and effort to get that sort of thing done. Alright, let's see what's going on in here. I don't think I'm going to loot, but I'm just going to look around just a little bit. Alright. I really don't need anything. Alright, I'm going to eat and drink and sleep. Alright, so the plan right now is to get to the cabin or the camp office, rather. And then I'll sleep a few hours there and then move on to Forlorn Muskeg, walk right through Broken Railroad. I'll be able to do that goat that I showed you all in the first or second episode, but actually make use of it. So this is a little deer clearing, usually a deer down there if there wasn't a blizzard. This lets out into that spot with the hunter's blind. There's a little cave. I don't remember what it's called. But I'll probably pop in just to see if there's any loot there. There usually isn't on Interloper, but there can be. I think there can be a bedroll in it. And I'm kind of just curious what will be in it on this difficulty. So if you hug this wall, there's going to be a cave to the right. It's a different cave than a lot of the caves in the game. It doesn't look like a cave. It's like, it's this thing, right? Nope. Yep, yeah, Alan's Cave, still called a cave. Look at that, it's huge. So strange. It's not warm like a cave. Yeah, there's nothing here, even on Pilgrim. Again, there can be, but there happens not to be. Alright. Keep following this. This lets you out to the river, and the river or creek or whatever it is will let out to the Mystery Lake itself. There's usually rabbit here. I don't know how useful that is for you since you can't see anything. And if you know where I am, you probably already know that. And if you don't know where I am, then this isn't helpful. But there's usually rabbit, a lot of birch, cool. I don't know if there can be maple here. I think there can. There's a rope climb here, over there somewhere. And that lets you out into, that'll get you to the lookout cave. And that's a great place to go if your main base is camp office and you have cabin fever. So now I'm just going to follow this wall to the right. I'm on the lake. And eventually when I'm no longer on the lake, I'll be right in front of the camp office. The lake can be a little disorienting, but I'm just keeping these slopes on my right. Yep, I know this branch. We're just about to leave the lake. Step on some solid ground. And camp office is right there. Okay. Have I even been here? I don't think I have. Okay. There can be a mag lens under these beds. I think it can be under either one of them. Oh, there it is. So this is a guaranteed spawn, but not necessarily here. The mag lens is guaranteed in Mystery Lake, and Mystery Lake is also one of the few regions where there aren't guaranteed matches. So that mag lens can be here. It can be in one of the watchtowers. It can be in... There's a couple other places. I don't think it's in the dam ever. Let's see. And it can be in trappers, I think. Alright. Let's just eat and go to sleep. And then we'll keep pushing forward. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's just go out now. There'll be some light, it'll be pretty. Yeah, it's super cool. Look at that. I love the Aurora. Just looks awesome. I know I said it in the last episode, I love those deep blues that are on the horizon. Right now they're on the bottom left, right? So cool. Okay. Let's get moving. Trappers is that way. You could just go down there and Go a little bit to the left. Worst case scenario, you hit the edge of the map and just follow it to the right. That'll bring you to Trappers. There's an area called Deadfall. And there's a ruined building there. And you want to go left from there. If you go right, it's pretty easy to get caught in that backcountry. Yeah, I remember now that I went from Mountain Town to Mystery Lake by Trappers, and then took that backcountry to get to the dam. But after this should all be familiar. I don't think I've been in Forlorn Muskeg during many Auroras. This is really pretty. I know some people don't like the Aurora. They think that it makes things a bit too supernatural. They prefer, you know, realism. Now, of course, you know, Auroras are real, but I think it's all the weird electronics and making the wolves freak out and things like that that people think, well, what is that? Like, there's some sort of magic here. And I get that. Like, that's just not the vibe they're going for. I love it. But also, I think with these tales, you know, it's unclear to me right now, but it seems to me like there's almost a supernatural sort of thing going on there, too. So, for better or worse, I think that's kind of what they've leaned into. I remember this. I remember this place. There's too much loot here. I'm gonna get out of here. So for better or worse, I think they really leaned into that a little bit with these tales, but I could be wrong. You know, I don't exactly know what's going on in the tales. It just seems like something very strange and something that requires you to suspend your disbelief a little bit is happening. Look at that cluster of stars right up there, just to the right of center screen, right? Got the blue band passing over it now, and yeah, it just passed, right? So now it has the dark purple background. What do you think that is? So it's amazing how good some people are at Misery. And I mean, I know it was even more amazing when Misery first came out, because people were just good at it immediately. I mean, I remember within a couple of days, somebody showing that he was on like day 100 or something, which is wild. That's, first of all, that's just so much gaming. For me personally, I'm not at a stage in my life where I can do something like that anymore. You know, just play games for just days. I used to do that. I loved it. Sometimes, you know, in the summer or something, I might be able to find a day or two to just do that as well. But man, people just put in so much time right away and were just incredible. Really impressive. And now, I mean, people are still great at it now. It's not less impressive. I was just very taken aback at the time. But people are so good at it, and they just get hundreds of days, and they have great condition. And that's really cool. And I haven't dedicated the time yet that I want to that, because I do want to do that. I really enjoy Interloper. And with my limited time, I like to play Interloper. So once the Signal Void quest is over, which it should be, or tail, in this episode, then I can focus on other content, whether that's Interloper, region maps, whatever. But I do want to work in Misery. I'm just going to go right over this. I showed how to do that previously, but here it is again. Really easy. And of course, in the other direction, there's a tree that leads right up here. You're basically meant to just skip that whole area on the right. All right, I don't think that I need to. All right, I was seeing if I needed to stop by the maintenance yard and get some sleep. But I don't think I do. I think I'm going to try to sleep in a truck. And that should keep me warm enough. And if it doesn't, I can always start a fire. It doesn't really matter. It's a nice calm night. We're not going to have a blizzard until this Aurora goes away. Now here's the thing with getting this done in a timely fashion. And I say timely. Obviously in real world time it's been a while. But in terms of the video time, I think this was reasonable. But the thing that's going to make a difference here is how long it takes to get an Aurora when I get back to... I always like going up this, I don't know why. Oh, but that stops me. Can I get around it? I'd really like to. Oh well. Anyway, I don't know how the last Aurora works, right? So in all the other maps, once you repair the relevant signal tower, you get an Aurora the following night. Yeah, I'm warm here. I'll just sleep here. But I'm not repairing a tower in Forsaken Airfield. I did that a long time ago. So I don't know how that's going to work. I do know that there are more Auroras in Forsaken Airfield than there are in most areas. So hopefully it doesn't take too long, like this gentle weather. But it's not like I'm in a position where I can't just hibernate, right? The worst case scenario is I go to the main hangar or something like that and I just hibernate. What I'll probably do is, just in case an Aurora triggers, you know, the first night you're back in that region with the updated tail or something, just in case, I'll make sure to go into the region in the early morning. But I doubt it'll make a difference. I think I'll probably just need to hibernate for a few nights. Totally fine. This tunnel is so creepy. Every time I'm in it, I can't help but think, like, this is definitely a horror game. I mean, look at this. You know, there are people whose hobbies include delving these types of places, like abandoned structures and stuff. And that's really cool. It's pretty dangerous. It can be, at least. When, you know, you're in a structure that's unmaintained, you don't know what's going to collapse or, you know, what's going to happen, or there's all sorts of risks, but it is really cool. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, I remember that guy. This reminds me a little bit of, this time I went to... I don't know if there's ever anything there. I went to Paris, and I went to this park. I don't remember the name of it, but it was built... it was a very vertical park. It was built on top of an old decommissioned railway. And you could go in the tunnels. I'm not sure if you were supposed to, I don't know. But you could. And there was so much really awesome, brightly colored graffiti through the whole tunnel. And so you'd have like these bright rainbow colors just receding into complete darkness. And this tunnel always reminds me of that. Alright, let's see if I have better luck going over this time. I did eventually do it last time. In general, when you're goading, you want to start as high as you can go. Yeah, that's probably... okay. Yeah, you just gotta wedge yourself in there, that's all. Nothing fancy. I'm just hitting left and right here. Okay, cool, and then that's it. Everything else here is easy. Or at least obvious. Okay, there you go. And again, that's one of those places where that's just the way you get back. And, I mean, you could take the long way. There's a cave right over here. And that would lead to that chasm below the bridge that we just crossed coming out of the tunnel. There's some caves in there. The first time I came to this region, I was starving, and I thought I wasn't going to make it through here, but in that chasm, there can be deer. And so, that was like that was a really lucky break. I thought my run was over. And I had no idea there could be, I mean, it seems like just such a weird place for there to be a deer. It's pretty enclosed. Like, there's a cave on one side, there's some climbing ropes. There's a staircase. Just seems weird, but I guess they just, maybe from a balance perspective, they're like, you know what, we need to have the possibility of not starving to death. Alright. We're getting close, actually. It's almost night, so I'm actually going to stay in this cave up here. Just because, like I said, I want to get to Forsaken Airfield early in the morning. Just in case when you arrive it'll trigger an Aurora. I don't know if it will, but we'll see. Probably need to make water soon, but I bet there's plenty of toilets in the main hangar that I could just collect from. probably just do that. This place is pretty linear, so you don't really have to worry too much about light. You know, on higher difficulties, it's going to be pretty cold at night. You're probably not going to want to travel at night. Animals can be a little bit more dangerous at night just because you don't see them coming as easily. Ooh, look at that blue fog. Jeez. There's gotta be some sort of weird lighting effects going on. But in any case, and you can definitely get lost, but here it's very linear. Why is it like that? There's gotta be. That's so strange. Here's my display settings. If you see why that's happening, let me know. Here's my quality settings. What's going on here? Grass and other terrain features. I don't think any of that would be that. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just always looked like that and I'm losing my mind. That's always possible. Could be losing my mind. It just seems really, really blue. It looks like one of those games where you like, it's like, oh, use your Witcher vision or whatever, you know, where the game isn't set up in such a way as to let you actually see what you need to see. So you just have like a totally different mode. It slows everything down and makes it look weird. Like, oh, your investigator's eagle eye. It's like, alright. I think this cave's creepier than the last one. I don't have any good associations with this place. This is just terrible. Look at this. It's more like the Mines of Moria than it is a park in Paris. Yeah, when I say this place is linear, I mean, there's the lines right there. You just follow the train line pretty much through the whole region. That one goat is the only exception. Normally you'd have to go down in the chasm and go around, but you don't even have to do that. This place is so dark. Look at this place. This place is a nightmare. Okay, well, you know what? The rock structures have a little glow to them. You can probably see that. I assume you can. I wonder if maybe the issue is the brightness settings, which you can only change from the main menu. You can't change them while you're in the game. But that looks like it might be a brightness thing. I wonder if I set brightness up for some reason. You can definitely get lost in Transfer Pass. I mean, there's a blizzard going, there's poor visibility, it's nighttime. But there is a shelter right on this line, so you just keep following it. Easy. There's also a cave. When I first entered the region, if I just went to the left at my first convenience, then I would have found a cave. There can be some maple up there. That's a pretty good spot to stop in if you're cold when you arrive. Usually you just want to grab some rabbits and some maple up there, so you may as well. I don't need to do that. I'm just going to get to the shelter and sleep a little bit until the blizzard's done, and then head over to the airfield. The vacant depot. This was the screen for a while when the tails, the loading screen when the tails were first released. All right. Ah, I left that for myself. That was a gift. Wasn't sure if I'd ever need it. Worked out. Okay, so I really don't need to do anything here. I'm just going to place this down, eat, drink, go to bed. I'm just going to sleep for a couple of hours, just see if this blizzard passes. Because again, I want to get to Forsaken Airfield early. Wow, it doesn't want to let up, does it? Let's see. I mean, honestly, it probably doesn't matter. I think I can find my way there just fine, even with the blizzard. So let's just do that. You basically just follow this road. You want to get up on the other side of this retaining wall. And then there's a road up there, and you just follow it out of the region. Yep, here we go. And there's the road, and that's it. I'm really excited to go to the other Tails areas. I've only been to Forsaken Airfield, so when I am done with Signal Void, I'm going to try to get the Interloper playthrough up to the Tails so they can just go straight to Buried Echoes. Although, if you can confirm something for me, that would be great. I know that once you complete Signal Void, in subsequent playthroughs, you just need to go collect the radio, and then you can start doing all the other Tails. You don't need to do Signal Void again, although you can. But what if your other playthrough already exists, right? Like, the Strive to Survive series already exists. So if I beat Signal Void now, will that unlock Buried Echoes on that existing save file? Or only on files I make after completing Signal Void? I've read that it's the former, but I don't know. I'm not sure. If you've personally experienced it, maybe tell me about it in the comments so that I know what I'm getting into. That'd be really great. This area is partly linear until you it'll eventually open up onto the airfield. But until then, you're just following a road. Alright, I'll just keep moving. I would like the blizzard to end before trying to actually head down to the main hangar. I haven't spent tons of time here. I've spent a little bit, especially on one of my playthroughs. I just kind of stayed here for a while, but I've spent most of my time lost out on the airfield. Less of it on the way to or from. Do I want to be out here? There's another truck, and I also know a long route, but one that I won't get lost on. If I go by the Junker's Paddock, you just follow this road all the way there, and then you keep following it to the main hangar. So, I think that's probably what I'll do. It's slightly longer, but I won't have to stop. And I won't risk getting lost. You ever see me just stop moving? Like if I'm just going like... It's because I forgot whether or not auto walk is on. And so I hit Z to trigger it again. I stayed in that cave at the end of the first episode we just passed. It's kind of cool coming back this way. I feel like a lot of people don't like backtracking in video games, but... And I usually don't. But here it feels like so much has been accomplished, and it's kind of cool just seeing the whole thing from the other direction, coming back to where it started. I wonder if the speed boost you get from roads still counts when you're on the snow texture that's on top of the road, right? Like those, just these little strips of snow. Or does that no longer count as road? You lose that bonus. I don't know. I bet you Bashrobe knows. Bashrobe does some science, or I don't know if they data mine. I don't think so. I think they just do some straight up science. But they are extremely knowledgeable. And I'm really impressed by their stuff. I know they also stream. I think they're streaming Misery right now. I could be wrong, but I do know they stream. And I've checked that out a couple of times. I'd recommend it. Let's see. Junker's Paddock should be over here somewhere. Alright. No, I just don't need to. I'm really cold, but I can still run. I got a road leading me where I need to go, so I'm not going to get lost. Those could easily be my last words, right? Like today is the day I die on Pilgrim. I actually get it on film, dying on Pilgrim. Wonderful. Recently I've seen a lot of people looking to transition from Voyager to Stalker. And I think that's cool. You know? Like, if you have fun on Voyager, awesome, stay on Voyager. But I always think it's cool when people are looking for advice and seeing, like, oh, how can I improve my game? Like, how can I learn new things about this and stuff like that? I just think it's, you know, good for them. Stalker, I find really annoying. It's just so many wolves. It's so many wolves. I know that late game that's beneficial, because that's just a food source. But, man, early game on Stalker? I think early game on Stalker is harder than early game on Interloper, for sure. I mean, once you have some flares or you have a bunch of torches or something like that, it's easier, but there's still just so many. Like, I find it hard not to get surprised by wolves on Stalker. You have to really want to deal with wolves, and some people do, right? Some people are like, "Yep, I'll get a gun and I will hunt wolves," and have a great time, and that's cool. Great. I find the wolves incredibly frustrating. I find early game Stalker to be more difficult than early game Interloper for that reason. Now, you know, if it wasn't a blizzard, when I was still up on that mountain when it opened up, you could just go straight down, make a beeline, go right to the main hangar. But we'll get there. Looks like the weather's changing. Yeah, the game went Sepia on me. I think I skipped the main hangar when I spawned here in the first episode. I think I just realized that if I went in, I was going to loot everything, right? Back in that episode, like getting nostalgic for like a 6-part series here. But back in that episode, I thought I was still in the habit of looting absolutely everything, which is a habit I have to slip back into when I'm playing Interloper. But it's easy enough. You feel the pressure pretty quickly. But I realized that if I walked into this building, I was never going to leave. I still kind of feel that way. I'm gonna go sleep in the light tower. Or the radio tower. I'm not going in that hangar. Should I sleep in the bathroom? Yeah, alright. Just gonna go to sleep here. No, I do want to make tea. Is that more trouble than it's worth? Okay. So I think it's about to be hibernation time. I'm just going to eat, drink, pass the entire day, and do that until we get an Aurora. Actually, I bet if I go over here, I bet the Aurora will be easier to see through the radio tower, the control tower window. Have a nice view of it. I'm sure there's electronics in here that'll light up. Are you kidding? Oh my god. Okay. I thought I just lost the run there. Wow. That was really weird. Okay. Jeez. Okay. Sleep just a few hours. Hope for an Aurora tonight. We'll see. I mean, it looks awesome, but that's not the issue right now. Man, this region looks so good. I'm just gonna go outside and look at the scenery. It looks too cool. Oh, look at that. All right, another day. All right. It's go time. It's early in the night. Got plenty of time to look. Okay. Let's do it. I wonder if it's still too early in the night to get a signal. Should kick in any moment now, though. I got a constellation over there. Same one. Oh, that's a good sign. Alright, well your light's switched on. How about mine? Well, I may as well hunt this one down. Okay, I don't need any of that. Here we go, okay. Cool. That worked out pretty nicely. Got a nice little consolation prize there. I think I only took one flare, and whatever the first thing was, I don't even remember. Doesn't matter. The end is in sight. We're about to get the last installment of this. I think there's a sizable reward as well. Oh, really? Okay. Huh? Alright. A little bit? Okay, great. There we go. Yeah, that seemed doable. Search Bunker Omega for clues about the fate of Rudiger's project. Cool. Oh, I feel like I always have a sprain in here, so everything's always blurry. Can I just deal with that? Let me just deal with the pain. Let me do that too. There we go. Much more clear. All right.
If I don't rest soon, I'm gonna faint.
Will, everything's led up to this, okay, Will? Can you just wait a second, buddy? You're so close. Bunch of miners, or maybe the people working on the machine. Security Chief's rifle holster.
What have we here?
That's cool. I assume that is an accessory, yep. Neat. Don't think I have a rifle. Sure don't. Wonder if there's one here somewhere. Kinda seems like there would be. Do I have a can opener? Yeah. What am I even looting things for? It doesn't matter. Okay, so the security chief's rifle is one of the rewards. Right? That's pretty cool. Obviously, that's not going to be on Interloper because there is no rifle. But on Stalker, that could be really useful. The rifle's pretty darn heavy. So, I bet people like that. Lots of supplies here. This one seems better stocked than the others. Jeez. Okay. All right.
Whatever happened here, it's not a virus, or any known pathogen. At least that's what the doctor tells me. There are no visible injuries, only invisible ones. My symptoms have just started, but they track what the others have gone through. Things are starting to get fuzzy, just like with them. Faces I can't remember. Like an old photo, blurry around the edges. Crumbling. The few men left up here can't be trusted to care for themselves. We've had to lock them in their quarters to keep them from wandering off. We tried going a different way, more psychological. We had a little luck at first, and then it all collapsed again. Rudiger hasn't been back to see us since we took the machine offline. I'm struggling myself, and holding out for the resupply he promised. Will it get here in time? I've changed, somehow. The men, the medical officer, all of us. But not him. Not Rudiger. He'll want the research. It shows some bizarre benefits, even if it's come at a price. Rudiger found what he was looking for. He can keep it.
All right. So, I guess the medical officer who was conducting those interviews was probably trying to deliver some sort of psychological intervention, or maybe conduct some research in accordance with Rudiger's project. And he was asking for memories, not necessarily because the memories themselves were significant, although maybe they were, but because one of the first symptoms of whatever is happening here is memory loss. The security chief was missing faces, general fuzziness. It sounds like they turned off this machine because one of the effects it had was that people around it were losing their minds, I suppose. I think something interesting is that Rudiger didn't change, but also Rudiger found what he wanted. So I really wonder what he wanted. Maybe we'll get some answers here or in one of the other tales. Let's see.
Entry 17, Project Medical Officer. We have attempted various psychological interventions with the team members. Interviews reveal that the deeper the recall exercise, the greater the distortion. Consolidation failures appear in each patient, no matter the subject content. So far, these have yielded little actionable data. We do, however, hold out hope for a treatment strategy to apply away from their work environment. Proximity to the site of exposure is my last best guess. Behavioral changes are becoming more alarming. I will be including the following transcript excerpt in my summary report, to be followed with project leads before team extraction, should it occur. We're almost finished. Please stay calm. Where has your mind settled then? Focus on the last image, please.
We just wanted to get out. To burn it all down. Or did we? I had it there, but I lost it again. I can't remember what it was. He said he'd stand with us if something went wrong. What did we do? What did they make us do? They can't get away with this!
End recording.
Well, that's pretty cool. Good. That's where we want to go. I want to know about Rudiger's project. Part of me wants to just keep moving right now. Okay, so that interview, that was a bummer. It sounds like they're obviously losing their memories, but they're also unable to store new memories. As far as I understand it, that's what consolidation refers to. Could be totally wrong. But there really wasn't much information there. There's doubt that Rudiger's coming back for them or that anyone will be extracted, so that's pretty awful. But it sounds like they did all this work here. I'm wondering why these locations are important, since Rudiger's project is apparently in the mine, although nothing here pointed us in that direction, so it's kind of strange that I just know that now. But apparently that's where Rudiger's project is. So what were all these bunkers for? Is it like some Full Metal Alchemist, like, giant circle thing? Are these conduits of some kind? Are these places recording data? It said that the psychological effect was due to the medical officer's best guess was that it was due to proximity to the site. But what site? Is the site the mine? Or maybe there's just some sort of underground network or something connecting to these bunkers. I don't know. I'm curious. I wonder if we'll get those answers. I'm not quite done looking around here, Hacksaw Jerry Can. So I want to just make sure I haven't missed anything. Oh, I just remembered the whole reason why I did this. It wasn't just to do it. It was, although it was for that, because I haven't done these yet. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's also so that I can have those new perks and do like a bookworm run where I just take everything that makes me better at books. And that's it. I just read a lot of books. I don't think it'll be like hard. I think it'll be a little harder than a normal interloper just because I won't have cold fusion. But big deal, you know? I don't think it'll be hard. I don't think it'll be... I don't know. I think it'll just be funny to not have any I just always thought it was weird that you can have cabin fever, or you can be getting cabin fever, and you can read a book, and it wouldn't even slow the progression of cabin fever, you know? And that just seems strange to me. Did I get everything in here? I think I did. Yeah, and this is where I came from, right? Yeah, totally. Okay. Alright. Well, I think that Will has earned some rest. He just traveled all around the island, and he started piecing together this story, and I'm looking forward to continuing it with Astrid on my Interloper run, eventually. Thanks for joining me for this. I know it took a little while, but I think, you know, the actual footage, if you watch this back to back, I think you'll get Signal Void in a pretty reasonable amount of time. And hopefully you'll learn some stuff about, you know, routes and things like that, but I don't know. So, thanks again. If you liked this, please leave a like. I plan on recording some more stuff, like I said, and uploading that on a slightly slower schedule.
Think straight.
Sorry, Will, I was talking. Don't interrupt me, please. Thank you. Anyway, I'll probably upload on a slightly slower schedule, maybe one episode per week. That would be a nice goal. And hopefully you'll enjoy seeing more of the Interloper stuff, and maybe I'll drop some region maps. Let me know what sort of stuff you're interested in. You know, like my audience right now is small, but it's you guys. I want to know what you want to see, right? So if you think you'd like to see some region guides, or you just want to see Interloper, you really want to see Misery, let me know in the comments, because I'm open to suggestions. I'm happy to do stuff that the people who follow me and watch these videos actually want to see. That'd be great. That'd make me happy. All right. Thanks again, and I hope that you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
I could use a drink.
Me too, Will. Me too.